with A.Lemoigne and M.Schremmer. Here's Mason up and riding now. Smaller wave, but it does have some push to it. She gets up to the nose there. Nice little runner through this inside section. 37:15 on the clock as M.Schremmer makes her way all the way to the inside. This wave perked up for her nicely. I am Chris Cote, and I am joined by Matt Janoski, a.k.a. the Waxhead. Matt, as we end this wave from M.Schremmer, starting right where she left off in match one. That's what I love about finals day. These heats, these matches just go rapid fire. The freight trains roll.
El Salvador warming up, and here's Mason. See, she's got the full suit on now, and this was the 5-1-7 for her opening wave. Razor edge, that moment that you mentioned, that's what the offshore wind's doing. Mason on a tiny wave, this wave just under waist high. You can see that thing just peeling its way down the point. Nothing of critical nature though, but a 5-1-7, she'll really take that score and settle any nerves that she had coming into this heat. And just carving that full use of the rail, also the nose, the middle of the board. Judges appreciating the variety in Mason surfing, but also complete controlled surfing.
Small wave enthusiast myself, I'm actually loving what we're seeing right now because you really get to spotlight the technical abilities of these surfers. It's not going to be who catches the biggest, best wave of the match. It's going to be about who rides these waves the best because they're all pretty identical. And as you see Honolua, I mean, she shows us her skill with every second of every ride she's on.
Just with that fog. But yes, it has lived up to it. It's silky smooth. We have this strong offshore wind. Well, it's kind of died down a little bit now, but in those first two heats, blowing offshore, which is creating a really nice canvas and some critical sections. Small, but really intricate zippering waves coming down First Point Malibu.
And here's what you're saying. Oil glass for this wave for A.Lemoigne. Not a long extended face, not that razor edge like we've seen on a couple of the waves, but there could be a little something for Alice on the inside here. Didn't really have that, Malibu look to it where you see that just razor sharp edge. It's going to get her a few points. It's going to get her a start. But M.Schremmer with that 5-1-7 to start, and now as we wait for Honolua Blomfield's first, score of note, that's going to make things probably a little bit more interesting for Alice, who you can tell has the urgency to get back out there with 32 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
Looking into it, and this is the front-on version. This is similar to what the judges see. They're a little higher. So Alice in the pocket on that wave, and this nice carve there, setting this one back up. So this one going a little shouldery, cutting back into the pocket, trying to get deep. The judges want to see the tail buried in the whitewash. She gets up the nose there, drives through the section. Once again, a smaller wave similar to Hono's and Mason's opening waves, and surfing very controlled, calm, cool, and collected for Alice. So pulling out of that wave of consequence, 1.33 for that first one, and Mason just up and off for that second wave, and here she goes on her third.
A little gem here. You see that nice little pocket for her to start with. The wave did pretty much kind of die underneath, but for her, she's going to now have a front row seat to potentially Honolua Blomfield at the back. Mason spins on an insider. Good call there. Gives her the chance to get up on the nose. She goes down again. Now Hono on a little bit bigger of a wave. She's kind of right outside the pocket, but making it work. Here's where things are going to start to speed up. She gets back to the nose. So effortless. Light on her feet. Beautiful turn there. Just, again, that right there is not going to kind of remain in the pantheon of her favorite waves in history, but what she does on a wave like this is very special. I mean, that wave right there, pretty hard to ride, pretty small, a little slow, and she made it work.
And there's her father Kalohe and boyfriend Clay on the beach watching, clapping that, knowing she's feeling it. And Honolua on the bigger wave, patience paying off, holding this 5, nothing of critical note yet, but she sees the wave peeling down the point, back up on the nose, riding high. On Honolua, really understanding the belly of that board and how to steer it, slow it down, and get in the pocket. And I love this. Stays with it, trimming in the middle of the board, that forward trim, and stepping back into this turn, which sets her up for this nose ride. Judges will appreciate the quick, fast, fluent footwork on that wave. It's the best part of competition surfing is we can't control the ocean. We have to work with it. That's the person that can manage the variables the best and combine that with their equipment and their mental strategy, that they'll come out on top.
Yeah, and luck plays a factor in all sports, but in surfing. You know, luck of the draw. Right back into it here at the original Sprout Malibu Longboard Championships presented by Tractor Beverage Co. And here we are with A.Lemoigne. Started off with a 4.83 and straight into the pocket. Extended nose ride, 5 over. Oh, so an error right there for A.Lemoigne. We'll see how much she pays for that one, as now we see M.Schremmer, who got the win in the opening match. She's got a runner to work with here. Comes through to this inside section, just trying to get around that collapsing whitewater as it spins off down the line. Now we see Honolua H.Blomfield. Hano with an incredible ability to just find the waves to give her the chance to show us exactly why she is in the running to be a 4-time world champion. Back to the nose again. Quick, beautiful, effective hang 10 there for Honolua H.Blomfield. Nice carve to finish. I mean, writing the story with every wave she's ridden. Back to the nose again, all the way to the sand. So Hano in the green jersey. She's in 3rd priority now, so she has a little bit of wiggle room to kind of maybe test a few of these insiders, and this is a test that could potentially pay off as well. This right here is it's just beautiful surfing, and that's what we're used to from Honolua H.Blomfield. It never gets old. You could watch this all day long and be happy with it each and every time. I mean, you just look at, so part of the criteria is using the entirety of these boards. You see Hano right there. I mean, just elegantly walking from the tail to the nose and back. And
love this bottom turn straight up into the nose here. She's high on the wave. Delicate footwork, and this turn sets her up for this next hang 10. Bang, bang, and back up onto the nose again. So that was all set up because of the timing of the turn, using the board and placing it in the critical section of the wave. This is excellent small wave surfing from Honolua. Gets a little caught up here, but fantastic use of the full length of the board, style, flow, and grace.
Live action here from M.Schremmer, trying to mount a comeback, needs an 8.26. That would be a big number. It'd have to be a pretty magical wave. You know, and speaking of magical waves, right? Malibu, one of the biggest stars of this event.
It was a military outpost. It was hard to get to. Some surfers paddling from Santa Monica to get here, which is a 12-mile paddle.
Some days it's worth it, especially if you're surfing by yourself. M.Schremmer now, still trying to mount that comeback, looking for an 8.26, 3:40 to go. Nice little runner through this inside, gets 5 over. Hano now, who had 2nd priority, catches this 2nd wave of the set. She's out. Big turn there for M.Schremmer, but unable to complete. It's pretty cool that you see the urgency and the intensity from Alice paddling back out there. They've got to turn that off once they get on the wave. You know, longboarding inherently has this ASMR quality, a casual, type of feeling that you get rewarded for in this competition. And that shows right here with Mace, and you can tell there's nerves running through her body, but she's doing so well.
And see the eyes. Very critical to look at that when she's nose riding. She's looking just forward of the nose.
And now we see A.Lemoigne. Wave appears, keeps disappearing and reappearing.
And they can't see as well. What we're struggling to see the definition of the wave. Believe me, it's clear underneath there, and it's very, very shallow. But they're trying to. It's glassy, right? When you're looking down, it's difficult to see the distance between the nose and the surface. So you try not to pearl. But Alice doing a really good job there to hang on the nose through that section. They're going to try and break. Mason and Alice are going to try and break that 8 points scoreline into 2. I think that'll supersede the 4.83 for a first wave for Alice. So job well done. And you see Alice here on this super glassy wave. So see her eyes just scanning forward, down. Gets the hang 10. Beautiful timing there for Alice. And then she gets up to the nose again. Not so much in the pocket on this wave, pushing a little bit of water. There, it steepens up a little bit. So a nice critical moment of nose riding. Nice style there for Alice. Carving this one. So no rail game engaged yet, but the wave didn't call for it. Surfed what was in front of her. And here gets a little stabby turn. Loses composure a little bit. This is interesting. 1 minute 20 left. Bit of a flurry. And Honolua will go and use her priority and take it off Mason. We'll see. And she does.
Yeah, so that was that's the luxury of having priority. You can actually block or drop in on the surfer that's already up and riding there. We'll see if that decision pays off for Hano. She does have a nice little inside racetrack to work with. A.Lemoigne needs an 8.6. She's got a beautiful looking wave to work with here. She gets to the nose. Love this visual of both surfers gliding down the line, full trim, as we see Alice now having to straighten out. So I don't think that's going to be the magic moment that Alice was looking for.
And we see on the outside Alice too, as we pan back in and watch the end of Honolua's wave. The wave dying off a little bit, but she had to take it and gets another 10 on the inside. So that was a really well-surfed wave from Honolua, and I think the timing of that hang 10, she's looking for an 8.26.
She's not going to risk waiting. Here we go. M.Schremmer. Is this the wave to carry her through into match 3? Gets out onto the open face now. I mean, you would have hoped already by now that she would have been on the nose for some time, because trying to maximize the points there. I mean, I'm not saying it's over, because I am not a judge. That job is far beyond my capabilities. As we see Mason through the inside, I mean, it would have had to have been pretty obvious that that was the wave of the day. Was that the best wave we've seen so far in this event?
Well, she surfed that wave perfectly for how she could. She gave it everything. It was really precise footwork, and the fin's still in there. She's stoked. You can see that Thomas surfboard, that Moose model, that's her signature model. She's walking up the beach. And Mason, beautiful fade turn, riding through the midsection of the wave. Nice footwork. And you can just see the timing through here. Quick feet after that turn, so the judges will appreciate the variety of maneuvers. And there, 6 steps up to the nose, holding that 5, readjusting the 5. Knows she needs to plant it for a period of time. Gets really critical for a moment. She needed to be hanging 10 there. That was the moment, if it was going to go critical and excellent, that I think she needed to be on the nose. But a beautifully surfed wave, but just where it got really critical, step back from the nose, but finishing strong. So giving it everything she could. It's going to be close.